Basically, I have an empty 20-gallon tank on hand. And that's where this started. And so I also had hides and I had mason jars and I had food bowls, food dishes, calcium, like D3 without D3, like all this stuff. I had thermostats. I had moss, everything you need for a leopard gecko. Hi friends, I'm Julia. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be discussing something I don't know where to start. I was on Instagram one day and I follow the shelter near me. And I see they have a leopard gecko. And I was like, oh, that's cute, like leopard gecko. And then in the picture, or in the video they had, I don't have it anymore. I should have recorded it, but I didn't. It looked like they had red lights. And as you may know, red lights are actually bad for Leo's eyes. So I was like that's not that good. And then it looked like they had a bunch of crickets, like just kind of roaming. And as you may know, crickets can actually bite leopard geckos or reptiles. And I've seen on Facebook that a bunch of crickets actually ate someone's crested gecko. So I was like, okay, well, that's not good. I went to the shelter. This was a Sunday, just after we visited my grandmother in the hospital. And I walk in, I go straight to the Leo, and I'll insert a picture somewhere. So he had two lights, a basking light, which leopard geckos don't need because they need belly heat to eat, as you may know. And they had a red light. And then there were two hides, no wet hide, and crickets and mealworms everywhere. And I was like, okay, this is bad because he's probably getting burned. He might be getting bit. Like, I don't know how long they've had him, like, in this setup. I wasn't even thinking of the standpoint of, like, oh, like, I should get him. I went over to the lady at the front desk, and backstory on this, like, shelter, I used to volunteer there. It was great. I loved it. Yeah. I went to the lady at the front desk and I explained to her my concerns about the leopard gecko, how he doesn't have any belly heat, there's no mat, heat mat, there's only those lamps, and how the food was everywhere and the red light. And I told her, and she looks at me and she goes, okay, I'll pass that along. She wasn't writing anything down, and I was like, I just felt like really, like she's just like kind of like pushing me to the side, like, okay, yeah, like whatever, like just some random person like just telling me this like crap. And I was honestly a little ticked off because I mean, obviously, like, I guess reptiles in my area at least aren't very common in shelters, so it's not expected that they know what they're doing when they get a reptile. But you would think they would at least like research, or if somebody who does know something comes in. And I was being very polite. I was like, I'm not trying to be know-it-all. Like, I was just trying to let them know, like, my problem with the whole setup. And she was just like, kind of basically just shoving me aside, like, yeah, whatever, lady, like, you're crazy. And so I was really kind of disheartened by that whole thing. And she even told me, she said, we don't use heat mats for leopard geckos because it can actually burn their tummy. I was like, those lights can actually burn the top of their like heads and their bodies, but whatever. So yeah, she was just like, whatever. I walked out of the shelter so mad. Like, I I just couldn't understand why, like, she didn't even think like, oh, maybe I should like look into it. They had him labeled as a green gecko, okay? They did not know what he was. They did not know what he was doing. Like, they didn't know. And so I was so mad. I was texting all of my friends. like, just like, I don't know what to do. I went home and I set up a Leopard Gecko tank because I took a picture of it because I was going to show them like what it should look like, and I didn't have the heat mat, but I was going to go get one. I also want to add that I originally told the lady on Sunday at the front desk that I would provide the thermostats, that I would go get a heat mat for the gecko. I was very like, I will make sure that like I'll pay whatever, like I'll make sure as long as he has a good setup and if you guys are gonna use it. She's like, oh, that's okay, we don't need that. Oh no, don't worry. And so yeah, I set up this like tank. I'll insert a picture somewhere. And I just kind of, you know, I don't know, I just did it. I set it up and I was showing my friends and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go into the shelter and tell them like, oh, this is what it's supposed to look like. And I walk in there and of course nothing was, this is Monday now, nothing was changed, that he still had bugs everywhere, there's still the red light. And I just go to the front desk and I'm like, I'd like to adopt your Leopard Gecko. It was kind of like, I feel like in my head I was kind of like, yeah, I'm probably going to end up with this gecko. I mean, it was fine because I literally have everything. I had super worms and dubias for my dragon, and she's still fairly small, so she eats like pretty small ones, and like it worked out. It was fine. And so I walk in there and I'm like, yeah, like, I'm here to take this Leopard Gecko. And the people at the front desk were so nice to me. The guy was so like understanding when I was like, oh, by the way, like I have some concerns with your care. And like the other lady at the front desk was like writing stuff down, and she was like, oh, what kind of gecko is this? And I was like, oh, Leopard Gecko. And she and then I explained the importance of the thermostats and everything, and like there was like, I think a group of 4 people, like just all like being like, oh, okay, like, you know, we had no idea. And I felt so much better that no, and then they were like, oh, like, haha, like if we get another reptile, we'll let you know. But I felt so much better, I guess, Monday, knowing that like they actually kind of like understood my concerns and like we're willing to change it. So I'm sure you guys want to see his current setup. I want to add, I do plan on upgrading him. It probably won't be for a few months, but it is in the mix. I know 20 gallon is just the very like bare minimum of what they should be in, and I understand that, and I'm working towards upgrading that. Oh, also, here is my angry bearded dragon enclosure. I'm gonna make another video on that. I'm not done with it. I am planning on adding tile to it and stuff like that. So that's like kind of a work in progress right now as well. So here's Bing. I named him after Chandler Bing. I don't know how to like kind of show him off. I don't want him to jump or anything. He's so sweet. He has such a good temperament. He's kind of skittish of me, but like not in an aggressive way, just a kind of like, lady, I don't know you way. He is so cute. Like, guys, I know you can't see his face, but he is such a sweetheart. Also sorry for my like very ratchet nails. Like instead of a makeup palette, I'm showing off Bing. I don't really want to be in this picture. Come on, buddy. He's like kinda unsure, kinda like whatever, lady. I don't know what you want from me. He's really sweet though. He's very, I don't know what's the word, like inquisitive or whatever, like very curious, which is funny because like my crested gecko, Phoebe, I mean, obviously they're different species, but Phoebe is very, like, whatever, like, I don't know what's happening. And then he's just like, yo, fam. Yeah, so he's very cute. Okay, so this is his setup. He's hiding in this rock somewhere. I don't know if I can see him. No, I can't. Sorry, I know the lighting in here is kind of awful. He makes a mess of his calcium, and I definitely need to change these paper towels out. But yeah, that's kind of, oh, there's a hydrometer in the mason jar. I saw that on Facebook and thought it was a cool idea. And then over here we have this temp and hydrometer, and then here we have this one for the warm hide, and my thermostat is right there. So yeah, that's his home for now. I just wanted to add that I am not shading the shelter in any way. They didn't know. We don't usually see reptiles around here, honestly. I think I saw a bearded dragon once there in the past like 3 years. Like, it's rare here. It was disheartening Sunday because I wasn't expecting that response to just kind of be like pushed to the side, and she just kind of made it seem like she didn't really care about the reptiles. So I'm so glad I have Bing now. He's in such good hands, you guys. I promise you, I love him so much. I am scheduling a vet appointment for, I believe I'm taking him next week, if not the week after. I just got him. Like maybe like last week or something like that. I don't know. Dates are kind of everywhere. I'm a college student. I am so glad that the people from Monday actually really did care, and that they wrote stuff down, and that hopefully for next time they'll, you know, do a good job at setting up the enclosure.